Hello. Hi, welcome to Longman Tarot. Richie here with an impromptu Saturday afternoon in the UK. Well, it didn't go live last night because various reasons. So I thought I'd better come live and say hello to people. Otherwise, you might think I've left YouTube or something. So anyway, I thought I'd do a really quick live today. It's 5 o'clock in the UK. The England's playing Switzerland in the Euros, so perhaps this is a good time to boo live. I don't know. So if you don't want to be watching the Euros, or you might be having it on in the background if you're watching it, welcome everyone. So I thought I'd just do a catch up today with what's been happening, what's been going on. I've also got a deck to show you, which is the Arcane Warrior. We're going to be looking at that one in a little while, but this is going to be a short live. I'm not going to go on for hours and hours and hours because got things to do. So let's say hello to a few people. Lovely Sandra, hello my darling, I hope you are well. Lovely to see you last week. I know we've chatted since then, but I'm going to be talking a bit about what we got up to at the weekend. Redwing, hello my lovely, good to see you here. Donna, hello to you. How lovely to see you here. I hope everybody is doing really well. Maruta is here. Hello, Maruta. I'm glad to see you here too. Lovely to spend time with you. And Ange is here. And Ange says hello to everyone in chat. Hi, Ange. How are you doing? Who else have we got? Maybe have some people just watching in the background. Oh, there's Gerald. Hi, Gerald. How are you, my lovely? I hope you're doing well. And Jamie is also here. Good morning. Of course, it's the morning to you. Happy Saturday. Well, way to start your weekend with me. I'm very, very honoured. Thank you. I think that's everybody we've got. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. That's really lovely. And if you're watching in the background, hi to you, or you're watching this at another time, welcome. So, yeah, I didn't do a live last night. I was absolutely shattered after a really busy week. We have activities week at work. So we've been out on trips, went to a theme park on Wednesday. Thursday I went for about, probably about a 15k walk, which was beautiful. And I took some lovely photos, which I put up on my Facebook page. But again, really knackering, tiring out. So yeah, when I got home yesterday, because also I'd stayed up late to watch a bit of the election results as they were coming in, or I should say up early to watch some of them. So yeah, my body clock was kind of a bit out, so I just thought I can't do a live tomorrow. I've literally fallen asleep. So I thought I'd do it today. So you've got me now. So it was really lovely, Sandra. I know it was really lovely to catch up with you. Yeah, so with that, and then at the weekend before, as I said, I went to London with Sandra, which was again a lovely day. Very busy, very hectic. If you've watched Sandra's video of the stuff that she bought last weekend in London, you'll know that she we decided to pick the weekend when London Gay Pride was on. Fantastic. I mean, it was great, but it was even more busier than usual. Lots of the streets were blocked off for the processions, which meant getting around London was a bit difficult. But lovely to catch up with Sandra, and we did our usual things. We'll talk about those in a minute. But yeah, lovely week. It's been pretty full on. Jamie says, I'm sitting in the garden with a cup of coffee and the dog's catching sun before it goes to 38 Celsius today. Oh, wonderful. Nice temperature. Tell you what, at the moment, it's really odd weather. This July, we've had like rain and blowy winds and then hot days. And every day is literally like a different season. It's incredible there. So it is like autumn here in the UK. It's absolutely more border on the chilly. Absolutely. My sister actually took a video today. They had hail. She lives just down the road, but it hailed for 5 minutes today. So our plucky heroine is here. Hello to you, my lovely. Good morning from California. Oh, wonderful. I hope it's sunny in California. Lovely to have you here. Oh, 101 Fahrenheit here. It's nuts. Wow. And Donna says, Kind of same here in France. Yeah, the weather in Europe's been a bit all over the place, hasn't it? It's been scorching hot in some areas and really bad floods and torrential rain. It's all to do with the jet stream. So I'm sure we'll probably have all those Caribbean storms kind of coming our way in various formats in the next few weeks. So we'll have to see. Anyway, we're here and chatting to having a bit of a catch up. So I'm going to show you some of the things I've been buying this month. Now, I haven't bought some deck. Honestly, I haven't bought many decks for a very long time, and they are a little bit like buses. They all come at once. So I've been really good for most of the year. I can't think of many decks that I had purchased before that. There must have been one or two, but I didn't go too mad. Well, all of this happened, and partially it's the fault that I got a month's free subscription to Amazon Prime, which meant that I didn't have to pay for the postage and packing. So I thought, well, why not? Let's go for it while we're here. So in no particular order, and I'm not going to do walkthroughs of these because I know a lot of people have done them. The Sherwood Oracle. I will show you some cards from this. If I'm honest, the book is amazing. I'm a little bit disappointed, and I'll tell you why I'm disappointed in a second. I will chuck these under the camera, actually, so you can have a bit of a closer look at these. Let's bring these in. Let's get rid of me for a moment. Let's just do that. Oh no, let's just move that there. There we go. So beautiful, beautiful illustrations. Mark Ryan, the artist is Anne Yvette Gilbert. Really lovely illustrations. They would fit with so many decks. It was kind of designed with the Wildwood in mind. It would fit beautifully with many of the decks there. The book is really good, and I was talking to Sandra about how readable it is. It's a wonderful book. But the problem I've got with this is it's similar to several other Oracle decks that I've got themed around kind of places or legends, like the Beowulf Oracle, is that you then have to read the book to actually find out the meaning of the cards there, you know. And I do like an Oracle deck that has got some keywords on there, which I'll talk about a little bit later on as well. But the illustrations are beautiful. I'm not a person that likes to keep going for the guidebook. In fact, the camera's doing a really good job of picking up the colours on there. And says I have the Sherwood, but not looked properly at it yet. It's one of those ones. Let me just finish flicking through these so you can see them, and then I'll explain. The guidebook is really good to read, as I said. Oh, I love that. So you have the goodies, if you like. You have the baddies, like the Sheriff of Nottingham, Guy of Gisborne, King John. And then you have some sort of fairy folk. So you've got like Robin Goodfellow. Love the Herne the Hunter card. Wayland the Smith. That's brilliant. Keep wanting to go to Wayland Smithy. The Green Man. Yeah, you're right, Maruta. I probably should do some. I don't know. My writing is just not good enough to annotate over the top of them. Perhaps what I need to do is get another copy of the deck and have a go at that. I love this one, the Hoodiners, which basically like the Morris, not the Morris men, the mummers that would go around and do the plays. So then we have locations within Sherwood Forest. This bit reminds me very much of the Compendium of Witches. That's very similar to that, where you have almost like two sets of cards in each one there. These ones are a bit more sepia tone. But you've got things like the Green Grove and other places like Wayland Smithy, which I just mentioned there. And the book is amazing. Really good to read. I won't show you what it's like. But it's got loads of extra stuff in there. Let me just get rid of that and put that one up there with it. Like that. So you have one of these things where you pull a card, because each of the cards have also got trees on them. Fabulous, so you can use them for kind of own work as well if you wanted to. So, for example, if you take one of the cards like Much the Miller, there you've got all about him. You've got a bit of poetry about Old English, and then you've got tree words. You've got meditation to work with there. And then you have kind of like the meaning of the card, but then you've also got the meaning of the card where it is in different location. It's a bit complicated. That's what I'm going to say about this one then. Plus, you also get one of these fold out paper cloths, layout cloths if you wanted to, which looks like that. So you kind of put your cards for difference. I have Oracle decks like this before, and like I said, it just got ridiculously complicated, and I ended up not using them, sadly, and just using the artwork. And that's how I think I'm going to end up working with this. I'm going to be using it in collaboration with other decks, like what was I thinking of? The Wildwood, obviously. Perhaps Druidcraft would work with this one as well. Yeah, I just wanted something that was a little bit more easier to use, particularly if the Wildwood, having done a year in the Wildwood and done all the work on it as well, to then have a Oracle deck that kind of then means you have to keep reaching for the book didn't sit too comfortably with me. So there we go. But it is a beautiful deck. The artwork is incredible. So please, if you are interested, do invest in that. Sip, everyone. Hello, anyone that's joined us. Oh, I want to say hello to everyone. Yeah. Wildwood came in mind. Yeah. The book is wonderful. It's one of those books I've been taking to bed to read. How many decks is there in the Oracle? That's a really good question. Sorry, I didn't show you the back. I wasn't intending to do. Well, it doesn't say, does it? Of course it doesn't say. I'm going to have to count them now, aren't I? But Jamie, as it's you, I'm prepared to do counting live. Right, firstly, one is just a title card, so let's not get too excited about that one. However, could be useful if you're going to edge it. It'd be nice to edge this deck and use that as a sample that it's not going to bleed through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. We're over 20 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 35. 35 cards in total. Oh, and the backs kind of look like that. Bit odd, the backs, if I'm honest with you. It's got a crow sitting on someone's head with an arrow in it. Anyway, nice deck. So I can see some people have said it looks nice. The artwork is fabulous in there. Purpose, I'm going to question that one. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up putting it away. Probably forgetting I've got it. So, a bit sad, but it is a lovely looking deck. There we go. We've answered it. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. We should have had a guess, shouldn't we? Wayland Smithy has a wonderful. I've never been to Wayland Smithy, Ange. I keep meaning to go. It's one of those places that elusively misses me. Like I might be driving nearby it, and I'll go to Wayland Smith, and then I'll lose my way, or we'll go, we're running late or something like that, and have to miss it. So there's space on the banner. Yeah, you're right. If it means I actually use the damn thing, then yes, it would be probably the right thing to do. Hello, Philippa. Good to see you here. I hope you're well. I didn't know you've been to Wayland Smithy. Ange, of course, that brings me beautifully onto this one. So this is the one, and I used this in a readings where I did with Ginger Faye. And I was a bit unsure about this deck when I ummed and ahed a lot about this one. And then two things caught my eye. Something along the fact that I don't actually have very many decks that represent summertime. Wow, how my deck choices have changed over the years. I just realized that. But anyway, I've got nothing. I've got decks that could be good at different Sabbats, but nothing particularly for this time of year. Perhaps the Witch's Garden is an exception, but I don't have that many what I call summery style decks. So I was interested in it. And then I realized that the artist is Nadia Turner, who is one of my favorite artists, and I have a lot of her oracle cards. I've got this something Avalon, is it Mr. Avalon? I can't remember, and the other Avalon Magic deck, and I absolutely love her artwork. Comes in a fabulous book. It is Llewellyn, so it's the usual Llewellyn, beautiful book. Sorry, I keep holding the book above my mouth, which is blocking the microphone out. And there was a few cards in there that I wasn't sure about. It's good card stock, as the usual Llewellyn card stock, slightly linen. In fact, I haven't shuffled these since I'll shuffle some of these under here so you can have a look at them. I haven't shuffled them since I used them, actually. Beautiful, beautiful work. And it reads a dream for me. And I was really impressed by it. Some of the cards have had their titles changed. Look at the Devil card, it's brilliant. It's a kind of businessman there with all his corporate hives behind him, and he's just leeching money out of it all. And I love the fact there's so many flowers in there, particularly summer flowers. It does have other themed, so you've got some scenes in winter. I think one of the suits is kind of set around winter time. We'll come to it in a moment. Not quite the happiest person about the court cards, I have to be honest, and I'll explain why when we come on to it. I love the fact that the Lovers card is called the Honeymoon. And in the book, it tells you all about all the connections and stuff like that. So it's really good to see. Cups become jars of honey. This is the beautiful Strength card there. It is a bit more colourful. My camera's, for some reason, taking some of the colour out of it, and I don't know why. Justice is a bee sting. Brilliant. The Barrow is the Chariot. Yeah, so all the court cards, apart from the Pentacle suit, all show human beings in, their usual king, queen kind of portrayal, until it got to the Pentacles, and the Pentacles show different bees. So the Princess would be, I think, a drone. The Prince of Pentacles is kind of a wasp. And I just found that a bit awkward that you're going to have 3 suits with human court cards and one with bees. I just found that quite an odd thing to do. But I've got used to it. I love the 10 of Pentacles. It's almost like Father Time, Frost Father kind of feel to it. Look at the rebirth. Number 20. Oh yeah, there's the King of Pentacles. And the Keeper is the Fool. So it fits really well with the changes that they made to it. But yeah, that was just the most awkward thing. There's the Prince of Cups. So you can see I'm talking about human beings. So there's the Prince of Swords. So again, human. But when it comes to the Pentacle suit, no. And just this feels a little bit awkward. But in the book, it does talk about it, and it makes perfect sense. Those are the backs of the cards, so I can show you those. And it is a glorious deck to have for this time of year. So that was another one, and I'm really pleased I bought it. If Gerald were here, he would be saying purchase responsibly. but I really would recommend it. I really would recommend it. But I am only going to use it probably in the summer. It is going to be put away for other times. Oh, you've got the Ehrenberg. Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't used it all that much at the moment, but I really like the design. That's reminding me. I need to get that one out. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, and you got the Christmas Yuletide one. Yeah, again, I have ummed and ahed about that one. And the Beta is one of my favourites, but work well with this, except for no keywords. Yeah, the lot of love for the bee tarot. The book is scrumptious. Colour, it really is. If I would recommend it. I mean, it is linen-esque, absolutely. Yeah. But not heavy linen, if you know what I mean, Jamie. Yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't say that in the book, but it just says that, you know, the three suits are portrayals, and quite heavily, because with one of them, I think it's the wands, court cards, they're all sitting on the same area of a forest with a throne, so you see them, each card, like in the area. So they've always taken a great deal of time to think that one through, and then not to have human beings as the pentacle. So odd, I think. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you here. I hope you are well. Thank you for being here. Finally got here. Great. Well, the Edwin, so not entirely human. Oh, I've missed something out, have I? There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Know your limits. And of course, we're with the best chatters, so they do know that. Sandra says she's got the Yuletide deck too. I've got quite a few Christmassy decks, so I didn't feel like I wanted that one. And I have to say, when I've looked through the Yuletide deck, it's made me feel quite sad. There's a lot of kind of nostalgia in there, and I just got quite a dark, sad feeling from the deck. It's not something that I wanted to use that time of year. I've got other decks I like to do, so yeah. That deck is sale at Magic for $23, a good price. There we go. Right, sip. Right, so I should just not be. I'm not here just to show decks, but I'm going to do this next one quite quickly, and then we can talk about what I've been up to. So the other deck that I bought recently, again, a lot of people have been talking about this one, the Old Style Tarot. I haven't used it yet. That's because I've been playing with the B Tarot and all the other tarot decks. But this is, I can't wait. I can't wait to start using this one. It's gorgeous. Let's put it up so we can have a look. So the backs of it, it's the cardstock's quite thin, if I'm absolutely honest. That's the only slight disappointment that I have with this one here. But it does shuffle incredibly well. So it's got this beautiful, by Alexander Ray. So it's got this real old vibe that goes on with it. Now, I'm not a great lover of vintage style decks, if I'm brutally honest. But there's something I really like about the closeness to the RWS that's been done with this one. And it's a really nice font with the lettering and everything like that. And I just think it adds an extra real element to it. I love the Nine of Swords on here. And it's just simple things like having these little lines that make up the corner, like sort of false borders. I'm not going to show all of them because look at the Six of Swords. It just has a really nice feel to it. Let's show you some of my favorites. This High Priestess it. just beautifully undertaken. And you could be really fooled into thinking that this was something really, really old that's been reproduced. I haven't read the guidebook. I'm loving the court cards. Look at the Knight of Wands. There's something really fairy tale heroic about these. The colours as well, beautiful. One of my favourites is the Eight of Wands. Let's see if I can find it. So you can see with something like the Emperor, the face details is really strong when it comes to the RWS and style. King of Swords, it's got a good beard there. And Seven of Wands. Again, it's almost got like an angelic feel. It's really clever. Going to be the last card that I'm looking for, isn't it? Eight of Swords. Interesting. It's almost like a ghost figure in the background about to, feels like decapitation. It's not going to happen. But yeah, really, really cool. And I love the Page of Swords. Page of Pentacles. What a dandy, dapper chap he is. I really like his hat and his posture there. There's also a little hint of like kind of Lenormand about it, with sort of some of the animals that are in it, which I love as well. Queen of Pence. Yeah, penultimate card I was looking for, the Eight of Wands. I absolutely love this. The energy of the Eight of Wands is like, right, go. You know, it's kind of almost godlike quality that comes through the clouds. And the focus on it, absolutely wonderful. So I've given them a shuffle. They shuffle really well. I'm looking forward to using them. Right, let's see, where do we get to with people? Hello, Naomi. Hello, everyone's joined us. People still talking about the Yuletide deck. Oh, you did a reading, Donna, with it, and love it. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, this one is the old style tarot. I'll show you what the box looks like, Jamie. Oh, actually, just turn that camera off. That's what the box looks like, Jamie. And it comes in a really nice box, actually. It's really well designed. Not lots of knots. It doesn't have, I don't think it has a ribbon. Oh, it does have a ribbon with it. But yeah, it just sits really nicely. It's not like one of those flimsy things. Trying to pick the last card up. It is pretty, absolutely. The colours, I've got my greedy eyes on the old style tarot. It's going to be interesting to. I'm really pleased they produced it, actually, because it's really interesting when this could be used. I could really imagine using this in kind of a situation that would be different from other kind of readings. I don't think I would use it for live readings online. I'd probably use it for more in-person readings. It's got that more vintage feel, you know, like I don't know, it's hard to say, but it feels kind of like one of those decks that may have been passed down to generations. It's got that real antique-y, wonderful kind of feeling to it. It's fabulous. Oh, there we go. Ange got the old style up with it. And so I want to get the old style, but I have to be careful with money at the moment. Though. Cardstock is it's not the toughest, but it does riffle shuffle really well. So yeah, what you lose in perhaps the thickness of the card means it's a bit easier to be able to shuffle it. It's quite slippery when you first start off, though. The lamination on the card is quite strong. So yeah, it's not going anywhere, Donna. You're absolutely right. Maruja says, Jamie, I've got my copy of the Saints deck. You guys get jacked up on shipping. It's like me ordering from Destiny. Don't. I would love. I was talking to Sandra about this the other day, because the shipping for Destiny from anywhere like that is just ridiculous. I think people ought to get together in certain countries or certain parts of the world so that they could perhaps do like a group order and then get it delivered and then split it out that way. I think that'd be but yeah, those days are gone, I think. Philippa says it does look interesting and beautifully executed. It really does. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, you recognise the box. I've heard the hand on it is really beautiful to work with. Looking forward to it. It looks like something I could modify. Yes, that it screamed to me a bit of antiquing on the. It almost needs roughing up a little bit. The whole deck. It needs to be. You might hate me for saying it needs to be folded up and a bit used. It's got that kind of. It needs that in there to make it feel even more authentic. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Authentic. So, as I said earlier, and if anyone's watched Sandra's channel, will know that I had the pleasure of meeting up with Sandra last Saturday in London. And I mean, we're lucky Sandra and I live about the same distance away from London, so it's not a particularly massive journey to do. My travel's an hour and a half, and I think Sandra's a little bit less than that. It's pretty direct. We choose to meet up in the middle of London. The surprising thing about London, which what a lot of people don't realise, is that for the size of London, it's very easy to walk around. A lot of the places are very close to one another. So for me, I get the train to a station called Victoria, which basically anything in the southeast will tend to go into. So once you're out of Victoria, there are connections to the tube and the underground, but they're a bit of a faff to get to be really honest. You have to kind of do a lot of changing, and the time that you spend on the underground changing and walking along and getting onto other platforms, you might as well walk it. So for example, from Victoria to something like Buckingham Palace is something like a 10-minute walk, and then from down, if you go a bit further, I could walk to where I was meeting Sandra in about 20 minutes at a good pace and without any, getting caught up in any roads being closed, anything like that at all. And I just liked it. It was a lovely day. So yeah, I walked from Victoria and we met up at Watkins, which is a shop. It's well known in London for the stuff that it sells. It's pretty big. It's got lots of books on all sorts of esoterica and everything, to be honest with you. And downstairs they have a huge down basement, I suppose you'd call it, just filled with fabulous books, new as well as antique, and stuff that people have ordered and they sell slightly reduced. Beautiful books like Troy books, they sell a lot of those. So a lot of hardback ones with beautiful gold foiling on them. And it's just a really lovely shop. Browse upstairs, they've got very big section of tarot cards and oracle cards, as well as all sorts of other bits and pieces. And it's always where Sandra and I meet up, because it's right in the centre of London, just off Trafalgar Square. And it's normally very easy to get to, but as I said, Gay Pride was going on, so they were closing off a lot of the roads, and there was a lot of people around. So we spent a good half hour in there browsing, and I saw a deck that I was interested in. I actually went with no intention of buying anything new, mainly because I'm going to Glastonbury at the end of this month. I've previously been to Glastonbury a few months ago. I bought loads of stuff then, and I haven't read any of the books that I bought, so I just haven't had time yet. So I wasn't there to go, oh, right, I'm going to buy this, having also known that I have purchased quite a few decks in this month as well. So I didn't go with like, oh, I need to get that. They did have the new Somnia Tarot, which is the one that is the drawing of the photograph version of it, if that makes sense. And that was like £70. And I am denied. I thought, no, I didn't like the original when it came out. It looks better as a drawn version of it, if I'm honest. But I couldn't, 70 quid. I knew that I probably wouldn't use it. But what is nice about Watkins is they do open up a copy of a sample deck, so you can actually look through the cards and actually have a browse there and then, rather than by blind, so to speak, on that one, not knowing what you're going to get. So that was, we spent half an hour there, and then what did we do? I think we're going to have a drink. Quite often the excitement is quite high at this point, so Sandra and I invariably need to stop off on the way and have a drink. Found a wonderful pub, which we'll probably never be able to find again, but it was all very Victorian pubs, with etched glass and mirrors and statues, and very Victorian-esque. It felt a bit Jack the Ripper-y. Had a drink there, and then carried on up to, we went to the astrology shop, which is a shop I haven't been in for years. Bought a couple of bits and pieces there, and Sandra bought some bits and pieces in there. And then we go also to another shop called Atlantis, which is run by Geraldine and her daughter. And her daughter's name I've completely forgotten. Barley, that's her name. And they've been running the shop for a very long time. I think it was her grandfather's, and it's well known. It's where Aleister Crowley used to shop. There's a back room where I'm sure lots of things were done there. Gerald Gardner used to frequent it. So it's one of the most famous shops, I would say, for magic and stuff in there. They have had a massive turnaround and move around. They seem to have got a lot more books in there, and they've cut down on the amount of decks and oracles, it seems. But, that's the way. With Sandra and I were talking, saying, well, if people are buying it off Amazon and getting it online, then probably, having all these decks there not selling, you might as well venture out into buying more books. So that's what we did. And then I decided that there was a deck that I'd seen in Watkins that I did need to get. So we went back and got it. But I'm going to check the chat first before we go on any further, and I'll show you it. So let's just see where we got to. Oh, it was, look. Yeah, it takes you about an hour to get there. Yeah. Anne says, I haven't been to London since 2012 when hubby was nominated for photography award. It's roughly a 1 hour 50 journey from Crewe on a far. Well, it takes me an hour and a half to get from down south, so you're probably doing all right there, I have to say. It's a very slow connections at this end of the book, but next time we go, we'll let you know, Ange, and if you get the chance to come down, that'd be lovely to meet up. It has books you wouldn't find in other places. Yeah, limited edition Watkins, yeah. Donna says, I've only been in London one time years ago, but it's lovely to walk around, yeah. You did like the illustrated some of it, but it's really a bit expensive. There's so many lovely things there. And what's interesting, Sandra said this in her videos, is that normally Watkins, the past few years, or for the past few times I've been there, seems to have had not much new in. It's all very repetitive and stuff you've seen before. But now they seem to have got on board with actually new decks. And they're also retailing decks that you can just normally buy either straight from the artist, the creator, or you have to go through Etsy. So it was really nice. Save it for Glastonbury and the kids clear off it. She's so much great shopping. I know. Yeah, over 100 years old is Atlantis Books. It's fabulous. Our ancestors, we spent ages trying to find Atlantis when we could find it. Oh, I couldn't find it. It's right next to the British Museum, if you know where that one is there. Hello, Words of Wonder. I work very close to the Atlantic Bookshop. Always very tempting during my lunch hour. Yeah, if I worked near there, I think I'd be popping in all the time. It's a nice place to go and browse, though, isn't it? So I'm a little bit jealous there, but that's fantastic. Seems kind of wild to me that people don't go to London much. Yeah, it's a big place, I think, and I probably go to London 5, 6 times a year. Depends. Depends. Probably should go more. You're right. That's much closer. Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? It's really expensive. Yeah. To, if you go, you're going to go and do shopping. So, for example, Sandra and I will set a date to meet up in London. We probably do it 2 or 3 times a year. We'll save up for it. We'll find the right time. Travel generally isn't expensive there because there's some good deals on tickets to get up there. But it's all the rest of it. So what you buy, plus of course eating out. Although there are obviously chains of restaurants and things, we always have our favourite pizza place that we go to because we always have bad experiences there, and it's almost funny that it always goes wrong. So it's our take and go to place, so we know where it is. Yeah, but drinks, yeah, buying drinks in the pubs are quite expensive. Coffee's quite expensive there. So yeah. I come in from Lewis too. Oh, do you? Very local then. Very local. I picture Atlantis like Sirius Black's disappearing house in Harry Potter. Yeah, it's a normal shop size. I mean, it's not the biggest shop in the world, but I suppose you could easily walk past it because there's other shops and lots of other things to look around at the time there. So you're very lucky. Yeah. Yeah. Sandra always have to go to save from places. Yeah, obviously it's the capital. So yeah, it's I mean, Sandra and I don't splash out. It's not like we go and see a show or eat in fancy restaurant or anything like that at all. We're very much, let's keep it low key. Marita, it can be cheaper for me to fly from Manchester. Wow, I didn't know that. But again, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, cost of travel is huge. It depends when you go, isn't it? And booking it all in advance. I'm never that organised to book stuff too far in advance. No, definitely not. Okay, so I'm here. I'm just very conscious of the time. I'm here to actually show you the deck that we went back, or I made Sandra go back to get from Watkins. And it's this deck, the Arcane Warrior Tarot. Really interested to find this deck. It's a deck, let me put it up, you can have a look at it. It's a deck that Levi, if you know Levi, Masculine Intention, huge panel, so I'm sure you probably are aware of him. He created the deck, and Levi, and it's a deck that I have noticed for a really long time. I nearly bought it actually from his Etsy, and something stopped me a couple of years ago from doing so. So I was really surprised to walk in and see this in Watkins. It was £40, which I didn't think was too bad. And as you know, I'm always banging on, and I'm going to again be really careful how I say this, of sort of those kind of masculine decks. I'm always looking out for something that, you know, isn't just unicorns and fairies and stuff like that one. And because I've seen this before, I did think about it. Like I said, thought about it for a few hours, went back and got it, and I'm very pleased I did. So I want to show you some of the cards. In fact, we have walked through all the cards. You can see what kind of deck it's going to be. There's no nudity in it, and it is all cartoon style. The box is a really nice metallic box, and I love the colours in this deck. It's mainly blues and greens. The book is really cool as well. There's hardly anything at all on the cards, and that's because they all have not only their titles, but a statement is probably a better way to describe it. But what this deck does have, so for example, that is all the descriptions that you get through for the 2 suits of wands and swords. So, and for the major arcana, it's literally, Let's see if I can find it quickly. Yeah, a few key phrases there for each one of those. But what I like about this deck is it's really been thought through, and it also talks a lot about magic and doing sort of magic with it as well, which is something I've not come across before. So each of the major arcanas has a form of ritual that goes with it all. Simple rituals, I have to say as well, not involving lots and lots of stuff, not lots of stuff you have to buy. It's crystals and bits and pieces you would have around the house. And really, really simple. And I just really think that Levi's done an incredible job on that. There's also stuff on sigils as well, how to make sigils. So it's a really unusual tarot book because, if I'm honest, it has more about other stuff, more esoteric stuff than the actual tarot card meanings itself. And I'm really interested to see how that develops and how that gets. You've been watching Love Island, and nipple piercings have become fairly common. I know someone had a nipple piercing and he caught it in the string while he was doing archery. Ouch! Ouch! I'll show you the backs, actually. And they also have really nice off gold kind of gilding there. So it's not glossy. And the backs are these, which are light blue with this kind of pentacle diamond design in there. They are big cards, just to give you an idea of how big these are. So they're almost oracle size. That's your standard tarot card. So they are more oracle in size there. Excuse me about state of my fingers. One has got to my skin and made them a little bit uncomfortable, so I do apologize for that. But as you can see, each one of these cards has not always has a human being, a male character on there. Obviously, we're going for that kind of body beautiful look, as we're all, as it's at work. But you'll notice that the colors in there are fantastic. And each one's got a title and it's got a statement which goes with the meaning of the card, traditional. Having said that, some of these designs do move into Marseille style. And actually, in the book, Levi does say that when he first started out studying tarot, he went straight for Marseille and spent years trying to get his head around that one before discovering RWS and the other depths that he was drawn to. Those backs are gorgeous. You're absolutely right, words wonder. They are big. Yeah, they are big. But, that's what they are, aren't they? So, the Fool, I am ready for adventure. Like I said, it's a lot of topless pecs and washboard stomachs, but nothing more than that. So, major. The Oracle. So I don't think there's any female portrayal in any of these at all. The Nurturer for the Empress. I embody sensual growth. The Monarch, the Emperor. The Teacher. I love it. I bought this home, and Peter, my husband, looked at it, and he did what a lot of people, and what I actually first said about this deck, is I really like it, but there's something a bit strange about the eyes, the way the eyes are done. But actually, this really grows on me. If you can just get your head, out of that kind of Bratz doll kind of eyes, they work beautifully. And I really, really like it. I think Levi's done a fantastic job on that one there. I love his art style. That's a beautiful card. I hope you could. I'm not going to read out everything because I hope you can see it though. Nipple ring dude is the Empress. I love the brushed gilding. It's become really popular lately. You can see with this card what I'm talking about when it comes to again, I want to be careful using the word masculine, but a masculine deck that speaks to me. I have been through so many catalogs and so many videos where decks have been, you know, female witch kind of orientated, and I get that, and I absolutely get that, but it has been really hard to find decks that are for a masculine market that I feel something I could work with there. So I hope that's okay. I hope they've not offended anyone by me saying that one. But here, I think having the triple moon and having it presented here, not as mother, maiden, crone, but of 3 different generations, is wonderful. It's what I've been crying out for, to be brutally honest, and not, you know, it's, I suppose it's sensual rather than sexual. Nothing, you know, not over the top when it comes to it there. And just really lovely illustrations. Sword of Justice represents Archangel Michael. So we've got fiery wings there, which is fabulous. Hi, C. McMillan. I love this deck. I don't have it, but it's on my list. Wow, that's really cool. It's a lovely, yeah. Yeah, Donna says, I love the Chariot. Nice Hermit too. Strength is great. Yeah. The Hangman, I am illuminated. And also I think some people might be put off by the statement, the meaning perhaps written on the card. I think of it more as a kind of affirmation, and I like that, and I really like that. I also think that Levi obviously really knows his stuff, and he's done such an incredible job of researching it and getting the tone of the cards right. The Devil. There is room for decks with a more masculine energy. Thank you, Calla, for saying that. Yeah. And Donna says, with all the feminine centered decks out there, I see no problem with a masculine center. Absolutely. And I'm actually really surprised. Well, I suppose that reflects the market, doesn't it? Is that who buys perhaps the majority of the decks, but, you know, they tailor to the needs of the market. But, and I mean, I've been saying this for many years now, when it comes to masculine style decks, it's very limiting what's available out there. And again, something that I feel like I could work with. I feel like I could work with this. I could take this and do readings with it. Whereas some of the decks just tip into perhaps too sensual, too sexual when it comes to that one there. You could argue perhaps this deck does, but Jamie said, I'd like more decks with a masculine flair. That's really nice to hear. And there's a lot of love out there for this. This is now on my wish list, said Sandra. Well, next time we go to Watkins, we're going to get it. And I thought 40 Quid was a really, cardstock's really great, by the way. It's rose petal, soft rose petal as well. So not only is the colour stunning, the artwork, the other thing that I quite like about this deck, and this judgment card really sums up, there's a real balance, a real symmetry in the illustrations. Okay, some of the images aren't, but things like the sun and the moon, for example, okay, they're not balanced, but you could see that they would go together really well there, or perhaps even that way around. So I just think that's really cool. Beautiful cardstock. And the backgrounds are stunning too. So let's do Pentacles. Now the Pentacles really do move away from RWS, but, you know, I'm prepared for the change. The actual statement is really cool at bringing you back to that one. So although the 3 of Discs, we haven't got the 3 people working. And I think when I'm going through this, there's very little actual humans represented in this deck. I might be wrong, I can't remember. But they tend to be more of this. I love the fact the 5 of Discs is things underneath. I ask for help in worrying times. Isn't that great? Really lovely affirmations. Bees. And again, you can see the layout of it. You can see those hints of Marseille coming in here as well, which is lovely to see that that is there. I enjoy all the wealth in my life. Court cards are obviously page. And I like the fact for the pentacles, we've got kind of earthly or ethereal earth, kind of fawns and sort of earth spirits, knight of discs. I'm committed. What I also quite like is that I wasn't too sure about when you had the affirmations on there because my eye automatically tends to go to them, which is not how I like to read. However, I recently learned to kind of block that bit out. So it would be really cool for perhaps somebody to own if they were new to tarot, because it's kind of got the feeling of RWS, but it doesn't have the images. So yeah, as a starter deck, I'm not sure how useful it would be or helpful, but it would be certainly something that you could then branch out into, and I think it's got really good potential to do that one there. Right, how are we doing for time? I'm not going to race this through, but we've got the cup suit, that's better. Sorry, I haven't read much of your comments. I'll come back to them in a minute. Interesting, Two of Cups has got a heart on it. I give and receive harmonious love. We tend to think of that's Three of Swords, don't we? And who does love all the marine life, that one here? Five of Cups. I dare to make space for grief. Isn't that wonderful? It's a really positive image. But also there's that whole sense that we know that with a lot of animals, but particularly killer whales, whenever they lose someone from their pod, particularly someone, they will, spend time mourning the deceased. Levi has produced other decks as well, which I haven't got at the moment. I'm ready to move on emotionally. So the court cards here are merfolk. Now, normally this kind of thing, I always used to moan about the Queen of Cups. I've got this around the wrong way. Crown Prince is the Queen. I should have pointed that one out. I've always had a moan the fact that when it comes to court cards with cups, people often go straight for the mermaid feel. But this works really well because the whole suit is dedicated to it there as well. Perhaps a slightly older looking king there, which is useful. But it is body beautiful. But, Now, the wands, I think, all have these banners. These are very Marseille style in the layout of them. Pit cardish, I should say, really, rather than Marseille. And they all have, some of them tend to have these Latin banners wrapped around them, which is really cool. Donna, the phrases are amazing. They really, really, really works. Hope you can read them all right. I won't be torn apart by strife. Victorian. Graciously celebrate my victory. I love this Seven of Wands because when you look at it, you've got in the background 6 wands, which are all very well, produced. You've got like walking sticks or scepters or however, and then you've got this one wand right in the front, which is a rough old stick, and it's purposeful, and it's still there to give protection. And again, valiantly stand my ground. I am strong enough. 10 of Wands. And the background sleeves are all similar, but I've got slight alterations going on. So, you know, the stars in the background are all very differently produced and got different sort of colours going through them all. This page seems to be in a leather jacket, which is rather cool. The knight there with a really cool dragon-esque kind of creature there. Perhaps it's a griffin. Reference there to the moon card. Crown Prince of Wands. I embody soulful receptivity and activity. And the King of Wands with the liner. I'm just going to stop and just catch up with some of your chats. Otherwise, I'll be really far behind. So, where did I get to? Oh, yes, the archery nipple incident. Yeah. Lots of love for the Hermit card. It really is super, yeah. Colour says there is room for decks with more masculine energy. I might, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and on a feminine centered decks out, that's in a problem with that. And Don also says this deck has a nice energy. It really does. It's really soft but quite powerful, and I love the idea of making affirmations there. I like the cartoon superhero eyes. I know, fantastic. And C. Macmillan says I agree that it's refreshing to have a deck with more masculine energy. I agree with Calla and Donna. Plus, we've got used to pairing masculinity with toxic. That's really wonderfully put. So it's really lovely to see something masculine that is the opposite of toxic. Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. As you said, it's not sensual or sexual. Yeah. Lots of love there. Rude says I find the RWS and clones have a good mix of the masculine and feminine. I don't really buy decks that only do female characters. Yeah, it's I don't tend to. Obviously there are some decks that may have perhaps more female characters, like Witch's Garden, Tower of the Garden, Witch's Garden one. Witches, yeah. Which is obviously, that's what it is. Awesome about the Witch's Tarot. Yeah, the everyday witch. You kind of know what you're going to get. However, I do appreciate the fact that dotted through it, there will be some masculine presenting characters in it. So that's really good. Nice to see cards that are more masculine, absolutely. Porn stash. More nipple rings, yes. Seema is loving it. And Ange loves the orcas. And I have such a thing for orcas of colour. They never kill humans except in captivity. Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice that it's gone, you know, it's beautiful. I think people have touched on this. It's beautifully drawn, really beautifully drawn, without being too sentimental or too, it's just on the right side of it, isn't it? Again, these are beautiful with the wonderful flowers. Again, symmetry. Loving it for the symmetry just on that one. I peacefully make my decisions. All of these cards are really, really positive as well with the spin. I didn't stop at the death card, but I know that that one has, and I know that the tower card, I'll come back to that when I was talking at the time. I dare to make space for rationality. I can accept defeat when necessary. Do you know what? I'm really looking forward to doing some readings for these ones. I reclaim my intellectual property. Eight of Swords. I won't be trapped by my own thoughts. Brilliant. I won't succumb to cruel thoughts. and I'm experiencing a mental rebirth. Let's do the court cards. Page of Swords. And the Knight, beautiful kind of phoenix bird there. Again, I love the bluey grey kind of air feel to this, obviously, for the swords. And the peacock there for the crown prince, the queen. And that one says, if you can't read it, I embody ruthless honesty. And finally, the King of Swords, I am the analyst. Wonderful. I'm going to quickly just go back and, if I can, show you what I would call the more negative ones, because I did kind of miss out one. So I just want to show you how something like the Tower. Oh yeah, the Devil is I refuse malicious temptation. And the Death, yeah, we did look at that one. I'm ready for transformations. No, brilliant. Absolutely love it. So that is the Arcane Tarot. I'm going to leave the box up there so you can have a look at it. It is available. I don't know if anyone at the mods could perhaps find a link for that one, or I'll try and put a link underneath that one after the live. Let's just catch up with what people have been saying. House of Cards. I don't know how to highlight your name. I have some feminine-centric decks, and it's nice to have a deck to pair with it. That I sometimes use two different decks together. Ooh, the swords are looking great. Oh, I didn't notice that one. Well spotted, Donna. The same hearts for the Three of Cups. Thank you. Do you know what, Sandra? I am. And what I like doing these walkthroughs live, because people can obviously chip in and put some thoughts in there, which I hadn't thought of myself, which is why it's fantastic. The more I look at this deck, the more I'm like, I want to get on and do it. I want to go on and start working with it, which is why, again, I decided I was going to do a walkthrough like this rather than shoot a video. But, you know, have people's interaction. Four of Swords. Wow, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, so see, just put the @ sign against the name to highlight it. Only if on a computer, depends. Some tablets won't do that on there. Did I just say tablets? Yeah, I can never highlight people's name on my phone. It never works properly. So Words of Wonder says, I started this walkthrough thinking that the deck looked beautiful, but not for me. But now I'm really won over. That is really lovely to hear. Again, purchase responsibly, but it is available online. And if you are local in London, if you go to Watkins, they have got supplies of them. And that's where I got those. So I did decide to go back and get it. And very pleased I am that I did so. Very pleased. Right, so what's coming up? I'm quite busy actually in the next few weeks, what with finishing work and going on holiday. For the past couple of years, Peter and I have just been kind of going in local places for the 6 weeks of the summer holidays, which have been fantastic, and we've had some lovely holidays. But because last year, if you remember, I was having issues after an operation, we didn't really go away. So this year we decided to jam pack the summer with lots and lots of things. So I'm off to Glastonbury. We are going camping at least 3 times during July and August. We're also hoping to go to Poland as well, fingers crossed. So because my schedule looks pretty busy for July and August, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to do every Friday like I normally do. If I can, I will. If I'm away and I can get Wi-Fi, I will. I know that I'm going to try and do a live from Glastonbury when I'm there, but that won't be on a Friday. That will be on a Monday or a Tuesday night, I'd imagine. There are a few lives coming up. I've got one coming up with Gerald. There's a few other bits and pieces coming up. So just to let you know that if I'm not around, that's because I'm having a wonderful time on lots of holiday adventures. and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to perhaps doing some videos and some vlogs and letting you see what I'm up to there. So yeah, that's the plan there. So and I think even this Friday I might not be live, but it's really nice to jump in on a Saturday, and I'm very conscious of the time as well. So, you know, it's lovely to spend time with you here. Naruto says regular RWS are 45 male only versus 13 female only. That's not surprising when you look at the history of the RWS, is it? And you know, Arthur Waite and all that stuff. I can totally imagine it there. Hello, Nancy. Lovely to see you here. I hope you're well, my lovely. Good to see you here. Oh, well, there you go. Lunchtime. Pop in. I am excited to get a reading with it. I'm going to think about what kind of readings will come in really, what kind of things I can do with it, and what perhaps some. I don't think it needs partnering up with an oracle deck because it's got that oracle feel and vibe going on. So, yeah. Anne says, I'm camping at the end of August for a week. I love camping in a tent. It's the first time we've properly done camping and bought all new stuff. So we've gone for that. With camping rather than glamping. But, oh, thank you. Just enjoy your holidays and be in the moment. Exactly. That's what I'm planning to be. Having too much fun. Would love a live from Glasgow. Well, make sure you like and subscribe. And I said it's going to probably be a Monday or a Tuesday that happens there, because I'm going from Sunday to Wednesday, coming back Wednesday. So there we go. Oh, that's really sweet. We'll be there when you get back. And here's Sarah. Hello, my lovely. Good to see you here. Hope you are really well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the time here. And I'm just about to go now because I'm going to go and watch the rest of the football. So have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me here. Hopefully catch up very, very soon. I will be obviously around in lives and bits and pieces like that. But if I don't, you know where I am. Yeah, see you really soon. Take care. Bye.